This morning we have a guest speaker who is going to,
William.
yeah, you want to do that?
Good morning, good morning.
It's on.
It's on.
It's
Hear me?
fine.
Yeah.
Okay. As you know, in the bulletin, we notified you that this morning we would have a talk by one of our members, William Falduti, who was involved in the D-Day invasion, and he has volunteered to give us a little talk of what he experienced while in that war. So we'll turn the meeting over to William, and Mr. Buldge will be taking some pictures of what's going on. That's a history, for historical information. Hold on. Okay. Come on, Bill. By the way, there's an article in a newspaper which I put on the table up front, and you might want to look at it later. It's a big article about him.
And me. Good morning, men, boys.
Good morning.
Watch the wire.
Good morning, Willie.
All right, now I can talk. You want to hear me? Not go home.
Bill.
Yes. Hello.
Turn it, Bill,
It's on.
turn it to you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I don't want to knock out your ears off. First of all, my name is William Falduti. I'm 90 years old. I'm an American paratrooper from World War II. I served with the 82nd Airborne Division in Normandy, Holland, and Bastogne, the Battle of Buldge. I'm here to tell you today some of the experiences I had while serving overseas. I was overseas almost 2 years, from the beginning to the end, and I had 2 Purple Hearts, a Bronze Star, and whatever, combat badge, all that business. I'm well versed in airborne warfare. I started out as a private. I ended up as a staff sergeant, platoon sergeant, in the 505 Parachute Infantry Company, 82nd Airborne. I went from Normandy. First of all, we jumped in Normandy at 2 o'clock in the morning on June 6, 1944. We stayed there for 3 months. We had our problems. We fought the hedgerows, and we had our problem with the bridge. I can't remember the name. There's a bridge. The bridge there's name was Fiere causeway, which was the connection between the Americans and the Germans wanted the causeway. It wasn't a big bridge, but it's enough to let a tank over, or trucks, or whatever. It was a direct road to Antwerp, which we fought for 5 days continuously. Let me tell you, we had a battle there, and I thought, well, here's my last stand, baby. I ain't gonna make it out of here. But I stood my shit, stood my ground. I didn't get hurt or nothing, but we finally took the causeway, because the Germans wanted it in the west way, because they had tanks and jeeps and trucks that took the street, this road, it went from St. Maryland Police direct to Antwerp, port of Antwerp, which was very important to the Germans. Anyhow, we fought there terrifically, hard. Much ammo was used. Many guys were killed and wounded, Americans and Germans. By the end of the day, there wasn't the Germans in sight. But then our problems began more as we started fighting in the hedgerows. Now, you all heard of the hedgerows. There wasn't a barrier of concrete, because you couldn't get through them. Even a tank would never go through them. But then they got blazers and cutters and finally got through it. And we were using what they call a clip, a butterfly clip, beep, beep, to let you know that you're American. So young guys wouldn't shoot at you while you're going through the hedgerows, which was very important. But no, that's the end of that. And the hedgerows, We were there for 3 months, then we were taken out, and we were sent back to England. On the way back to England, everybody rejoiced, oh, the war is over for us. We're going home. Like the hell we went home. We went to England, next thing you know, it's September, we're up in the sky again. This time we jumped in Holland, September 17th, 1944. The main purpose was to liberate Holland, country Holland, and take the Nijmegen Bridge, which was really important. When we went to the bridge, the Germans were on one side, and we were on the other side. One thing about the German soldiers, they didn't like to get up in the morning. For the Americans, we get up 2 or 3 o'clock. We didn't care. We go, said we're going to fight these little bits while they're sleeping. And we did a good job on them. And we finally took this area here. And that was the British battle in Holland. But the main problem there was water. Holland is noted for water, if you believe it or not. The Germans flooded the fields terrifically. And a lot of our guys drowned, and they suffocated from the harness they used to hold the parachute on the body. It was made of a web, but it didn't have a quick release like the British had. Eventually, the Americans got that fast clip. You pull the clip on, you hit it, and it'll shoot comes right off you. But in the meantime, we had these old farting bastards. They use them on horses. The buckles you all that shit. It's just part of my language. Anyhow, that was the story there. And well, then we went to, we were there quite a while. Then we went back to, we didn't go back to England this time. They were afraid to send us to England. We'd all go away, we'd all go home. Then anyhow, they sent us to this town of Suisse, France. Well, we went to Suisse, France, and we were confined to this one area, which we didn't get along with the French people too well. We didn't like them anyway to begin with. Paratroopers and French, they think they were hot shit, but they weren't. Anyhow, we stayed there, and then we all got together. We said, well, what are we going to do here? The next thing you know, here comes a big convoy of trucks. They put us on the trucks. We don't know where the hell we're going. The next thing you know, we're going right to the Battle of the Bulge. And that's where we went. When we were in the Battle of the Bulge, the 101st was there. They were trapped, mostly trapped. You know, them bail out. And the 4th Army also came in and helped us bail out the 101st. That was a cold bitch there, let me tell you. We went there. I'm only a little guy, as you can see, but the snow was up to my ass, right an inch. So I didn't care. I got along, but I didn't want to meet, but they didn't. They didn't do that. It's a joke. So I didn't care. I could take it. They could throw at me. I was there in the Battle of Buldge there. Got hurt a couple times. They sent me to the hospital. They wanted to send me back to England. And I said I didn't want to go to England. If I know I was going to England, they're going to put me through the rebel depots. And they treat you like shit. They treat you like a prisoner. Well, anyhow, I stayed there. We went into the Battle of Buldge. Anyway, we come across a concentration camp in Salzwedel, which we liberated. And part of this concentration camp, there was a compound with all Polish women in it. They were the soldiers' pride and joy, you know what I'm saying, for recreation purposes. The Germans had them there. So then we tried to go in there, and I played a little fun with them. Before you know it, they took all the woman out of there and sent them back to Poland. They just, son of a bitch, to get that little fun. But that was the story there. Well, anyhow, I'm in this town of Buldge, Germany, and I'm sitting beside a tank. And all of a sudden, artillery comes in. And I didn't think nothing of it. So I'm walking around. So all of a sudden I get nice and warm, my parts get warm. Neither did I know that I was bleeding inside my shirt. So I stuck my hand in there, and I pulled out, I said, oh, son of a bitch, look at this. I was all full of blood, and shrapnel in the chest. So they took me out of there, and I was sent to Maastricht, Holland, for rehab, to take care of my wound and stuff. And they asked me if I wanted to go to England. I said, no, I don't want to go to England. Just send me anywhere, send me home. No, I said, you ain't going home. So I stayed there. And we kept writing in this town. what else? Need it. I got my little plan here. Then after the Battle of Buldge, we went back to England. Then we went back to England, and we came home to the United States, where we had the parade on Fifth Avenue. If everybody remembers, the 82nd was well represented. But we were all divisions, all dressed up in our white lace boots and white scarves. And we were real sharp. People liked us. So we stopped there for a while, and they turned us loose. Said, "What you want for the rest of the day?" I said, "What did we do? Well, around, got drunk. Could let it happen there. People were real nice to us." So I had a couple of zombies that almost fell on my ass, drinking, inebriated. And then we sent us back to Fort Bragg. So I went to Fort Bragg, and we stayed there for a while. And then I said, "Well, it's time for me to go home for real now." And this is going on to. Then I stayed there until 46. But then I said, I stayed there until 1949 because I couldn't adjust. I went home for a little while, but I couldn't adjust to the civilian life. I was always in trouble. And even this time, the cops knew who I was. Said, "Here comes the fucking fire truck, watch out." So that's the story there of my life. But then I got married to this woman, very much from Nutley. She was from Nutley. My whole family's from Nutley. She all went to high schools and graduated. While I was in Europe, or in the Airborne, I went to 4 schools, which were very nice and educational. One was a jump school. That was very important, get your wings. I have 45 regular jumps, and I have 2 combat jumps. So that's 47 jumps. I need to be a master jumper, which I am. But I love my job, and I love being airborne. And to this day, I'm still active with the 82nd Airborne. They have affairs and stuff. I still go and join it, and they send me letters. And I get the letters, and they get their books. I'm a member of the Association for Life, so that's the story of my life there. Then I come home to Nutley, and I got a job as a mechanic in West Orange with Chrysler. When I was there, I was for Chrysler people for 17 years. And I finally said, my wife said, "Why don't you get a better job at Chrysler where you can make some money?" I said, "Okay." She says, "Go see your friend, Pete Weber. He was the leader of the operating engineers, Local 825. But I know him very well. He used to come buy cars from us, or services cars. And then I went to his house, knocked on the door. I thought he would throw me up, but he didn't. And he said, "What the hell are you doing?" I said, "I come to see if you give me a job. Or put me on your payroll, give me a book or something." I said, "Okay." He said, "I've been after you for a few years, but I couldn't go over my bosses told the kind. We were friends, Mr. DeCozen. He owned the place. And they were very close friends. So anyhow, he said, "Tell your boss to go to hell. You'll see him in 2 weeks. You're leaving him in 2 weeks," which I did. Then I went to work for engineers. I stayed there 25 years, and that's where I retired. I worked 10 years in the Meadowlands when they were built the first giant stadium. And I was an engineer there. So that was a nice job. But all good jobs come to an end. So I said, then I had to retire. I said, let me go down home. And that's the story of my life. Thank you, man.
Good.
I want to be the first to thank Will for being a veteran and taking part in some of the bloodiest battles we had in the war, and I congratulate him.
Thank you.
Did a good job, Bill.
Thank you.
Very good.
Got a question.
Yes.
Do you have any questions? Are there any questions?
I wondered if you did any jumping with former President Bush.
No, that's kid shit.
Next year, okay.
Anybody can do that. Even a 4-year-old can do that.
Do you know where Hoffa is in the Meadowlands?
He's in the right corner, in the end zone. I put concrete on the back. I guess that's it.
A question.
Yes.
You made that first, the jump. How did it feel when you made that jump over in Europe?
That didn't bother me. The first jump that bothered me, the first jump that bothered me was my first one. The only person that knew how I was the laundry man.
You got that one, huh?
But that was no problem.
That was good.
Holland was the worst jump. This was in the afternoon. Holland was the worst jump we made. It was on a Sunday afternoon and brightest days you can imagine. Also, while I was in, I meant to tell you, I met up with General Patton during the war. I was on a mission to go. I was in the Battle of the Bulge. And the lieutenant comes up to me. He says, "Billy, get your stuff. We're going for a little ride. Get dressed real warm, and make sure your rifle is loaded." I said, "Okay." So he told me where we were supposed to go, from the 1st Army to the 3rd Army. We were supposed to join them up. This is during the Battle of the Bulge. So he said to me, "You don't have to go if you don't want to go." I said, "Well, then you can call me chicken shit, so I have to go." So I went with him, and we went to see General Patton. And then we joined I was in the 1st Army, and we went to the 3rd Army. When we went to see Patton, I went inside, he's in there with his dog, in his compound there. And then I was just introduced to him. At the time, I became a sergeant. I was a hero. And that's that buck sergeant. So he said to me, "Soldier, would you like a drink?" Certainly, I said. And then I said to him, "Listen now, I don't want none of that rock that you got. I want that good stuff." I said, "I want some of that nice Hennessy cognac you got." I knew all about the booze in Europe. So he says, "Oh, you're a pretty smart guy." I said, "Yeah, that's why they made me a sergeant." Then as we were leaving, he said to me, "Would you care for another drink?" I said, "Yeah, I can go for one more." I said, "But that's all you're going to get, because you got to go back where you came from." He said to me, "Boy, I like to have more guys like you in my outfit. You're pretty sparky, ain't you?" I said, "I got a lot of spark in my ears." And he started laughing. I'm that good at it. But then he got killed in Germany, as you all know. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was very, very interesting.
All right.